thing that the king asks is difficult, and none can show it is the king except the gods where dwelling is not with flesh. Except the gods where dwelling is not with flesh. 2:27. Daniel answered the king, no wise man, enchanters, magicians, or astrologers can show the king the mystery which the king has asked. But there is a God in heaven who reveals mysteries, and he who has made known to King Nebuchadnezzar what will be in the latter days. 2:43. As you saw the iron mixed with murky clay, so they will mix with one another in marriage, but they will not hold together, just as iron does not mix with clay. Sound like the 70s, 80s, and 90s? Daniel 2:40. Just as you saw that a stone was cut from a mountain by no human hand, and that it broke into pieces the iron, the bronze, the clay, the silver, and the gold, a great God has made known to the king what shall be hereafter. The dream is certain, and its interpretation is sure. 7:2. Daniel said, I saw in my vision by night, and behold, the four winds of heaven were stirring up the great sea, and the four beasts came up out of the sea, different from one another. The first was like a lion and had eagle's wings. Then as I looked, as its wings were plucked off, and it was lifted up from the ground and made to stand upon 2 feet like a man, and the mind of a man was given it. And behold, another beast, the second one like a bear. It was raised up on one side. It had 3 ribs in its mouth between its teeth, and it was told, arise, devour much flesh. After this I looked, and lo, another like a leopard, with 4 wings of a bird on its back, and the beast had 4 heads, and the dominion was given to it. After this I saw in the night visions, and behold, a 4th beast, and tremble and dreadful and exceedingly strong, and it had great iron teeth. It devoured and broke in pieces and stamped the residue with its feet. It was different from all the beasts that were before it. It had 10 horns. I considered the horns, and behold, there came up from among them another horn, a little one, before which 3 of the first horns were plucked up by the roots, and behold, in this horn were eyes like the eyes of a man, and a mouth that speaks great things. As I looked, these 4 great beasts are 4 kings who shall rise up out of the earth, but the saints of the Most High shall receive the kingdom and possess the kingdom forever and ever and ever. Then I desired to know the truth concerning the 4th beast. As I looked, this horn made war with the saints and prevailed over them until the Ancient of Days came, and judgment was given for the saints of the Most High, and the time came when the saints received the kingdom. He shall speak words against the Most High, and shall wear out the saints of the Most High, and think to change the times and the law. Daniel 7:25. Daniel 8:19, he said, behold, I will make known to you what shall be at the latter end of the indignation, for it pertains to the appointed time of the end. As for the ram which you saw with the 2 horns, are the kings of Media and Persia, and the he-goat is the king of Greece. And the great horn between his eyes is the first king. As for the horn that was broken, in place of which 4 others arose, 4 kingdoms shall arise from his nation, but not with his power. And at the latter end of their rule, when the transgressions have reached their full measure, a king of bold countenance, one who understands riddles, shall arise. His power shall be great, and he shall cause fearful destruction, and shall succeed in what he does, and destroy mighty men and the people of the saints. By his cunning he shall make deceit prosper under his hand, and in his own mind he shall magnify himself without warning. He shall destroy many, and he shall even rise up against the prince of princes. By no human hand shall he be broken. The vision of the evening and the morning which has been told is true, but seal up the vision, for it pertains for many days hence. Daniel 9:24. 72 weeks of years are decreed concerning your people and your holy city, to finish the transgression, and to put the end to the sin, and atone for iniquity, to bring in everlasting righteousness, to seal both vision and prophet, and to anoint the most holy places. Know therefore and understand that from the going forth of the word to restore and build Jerusalem to the coming of the Anointed One, a prince, there shall be 7 weeks. Then for 62 an anointed one shall be cut off and shall have nothing, and the people of the prince who is to come shall destroy the city and the sanctuary. Its end shall come with a flood, and to the end there shall be war. Desolations are decreed, and he shall make a strong covenant with many for a week and for a half of a week, and he shall cause sacrifice and offering to cease. And upon the wing of abomination shall come one who makes desolate, until the decreed end is poured out on the desolator. Daniel 10:14. And came to make you understand what is to befall your people in the latter days, for the vision is for days yet to come. And Daniel 10:21. But I tell you what is inscribed in the book of truth. Daniel 11:2. And now I will show you the truth. Behold, 3 more kings shall arise in Persia. A fourth shall be far richer than all of them. And when he becomes strong enough through his riches, he shall stir up against the kingdom of the Greeks. Then a mighty king shall arise, who shall rule against with great dominion, and do according to his will. When he has arisen, his kingdom shall be broken and divided towards the 4 winds of heaven, but not to his posterity, nor according to the dominion with which he ruled. For his kingdom shall be plucked up and go to the others besides these. Then the king of the south shall be strong, but one of his princes shall be stronger than he, and his dominion shall be a great dominion. After some years they shall make an alliance, and the daughters of the king of the south shall come to the north to make peace, but she shall not retain the strength of her arm, and he and his offspring shall not endure, for she shall be given up, and her attendants and her child, and he who got possession of her. In those times a branch from her root shall arise in his place, and he shall come against the army, and enter the fortress of the king of the north, and he shall deal with them and prevail. And he shall also carry off to Egypt their gods, with their molten images and with their precious vessels of silver and gold. And from some years he shall refrain from attacking the king of the north. Then the latter shall come into the realm of the king of the south, but shall not return to his own land. His son shall wage war, assemble a multitude of great forces, which shall come and overflow and pass through, and again shall carry the war as far as his fortress. Then the king of the south, moved with anger, shall come out and fight with the king of the north, and he shall raise a great multitude, but it shall be given unto his hand. And when the multitude is taken, his heart shall be exalted, and he shall cast down tens of thousands, but he shall not prevail. For the king of the north shall again raise a multitude greater than the former, and after some years he shall come on with a great army and abundant supplies. In those times many shall rise against the king of the south, and the men of violence among your own people shall lift themselves up in order to fulfill the vision, but they shall fail. Then the king of the north shall come and throw up siege works and take a well-fortified city, and the forces of the south shall not stand, even his picked troops, for there shall be no strength to stand. But he who comes against him shall do according to his own will, and then shall stand before him, and he shall stand in the glorious land, and all of it shall be in his power. He shall set his face to come with the strength of his whole kingdom, and he shall bring terms of peace and perform them. He shall give him the daughter of the woman to destroy the kingdom, but it shall not stand or be to his advantage. Afterwards he shall turn his face to the coastlands, and shall take many of them, but a commander shall put an end to his insolence indeed, and he shall turn his insolence back upon him. Then he shall turn his face back to the fortress of his own land, but he shall stumble and fall and shall not be found. Daniel 11:20. Then shall arise his place one who shall send an exactor of tribute. through the glory of the kingdom, but within a few days he shall be broken, neither in anger nor in battle. In his place shall arise a contemptible person, to whom royal majesty has not been given. He shall come in without warning, and obtain the kingdoms by flatteries. Armies shall be utterly swept away before him, and broken, and the prince of the covenant also. And from that time on an allegiance is made with him. He shall act deceitfully, and shall become strong with a small people. Without warning he shall come into the richest parts of the province, and he shall do what neither his father nor his father's fathers had done, scattering among them plunder, spoils, and goods. He shall devise plans against strongholds, but only for a time, and he shall stir up his power and his courage against the king of the south with a great array, and the king of the south shall wage war with an exceedingly great mighty army, but he shall not stand. For plots shall be devised against him, even though he eats his rich food shall be his undoing. His army shall be swept away, and many shall fall down slain. And as for the two kings, their minds shall be bent on mischief. They shall speak lies at the same table, but to no avail, for the end is yet to be at the time appointed. And he shall return to his land with great sustenance, but his heart shall be set against the holy covenant, and he shall work his will and return to his own land. At that time appointed he shall return and come into the south, but it shall not be this time as it was before. For ships of Kittim shall come against him, and he shall be afraid and withdraw, and shall turn back and be enraged and taken action against the holy covenant. He shall turn back and give